There is an old saying that a country can develop only if its borders are secure. This is the reason why almost all big nations around the world spend hefty amounts on their military budget every year. The military strength of a nation depends upon the power of its air force, army, and navy. You should know that just having a large number of soldiers doesn't make a military strong. What makes an armed force strong? The combination of numerous things like the number of personnel, weapon technology used by the military, defense budget, etc. Go through this video to know about the top 10 most powerful militaries in the world. Number 10, Brazil. The Brazilian army is the largest armed forces based on South America, with a force of about 235,000 active personnel and 1,335,000 reserve personnel. Brazil have 439 tanks, 1958 armored vehicles, 136 self-propelled artilleries, 546 towed artilleries, 78 rocket projectors. The Brazilian Navy has 134 ships in commission, 7 conventional attack submarines, and 1 aircraft carrier. The Brazilian Air Force has 715 aircrafts. The government of Brazil spent more than $18.7 billion in the military sector. Number 9, Pakistan. Pakistani military has 654,000 active personnel and 550,000 reserve personnel, and also has 2,824 tanks, 9,950 armored vehicles, 689 self-propelled artillery, 1,208 towed artillery, 560 rocket projectors. Pakistani Navy has 118 ships, 11 frigates, 2 destroyers, 6 corvettes, and 8 submarines. Pakistani Air Force has approx more than 970 aircraft. Instead of this, Pakistan holds about 165 nuclear weapons. The defense budget of Pakistan is $10.4 billion, which is 4% of the GDP of Pakistan. Number 8, United Kingdom. With 152,170 active personnel, 37,000 reserve personnel, and 11,000 deployed personnel, UK military has ranked 8th position in the world. There are 227 tanks, 5,015 armored vehicles, 89 self-propelled guns, 126 towed artilleries, and 44 rocket projectors available in UK Army. There are 2 aircraft carriers including the HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales, 2 amphibious transport docks, 4 ballistic missile submarines maintaining the UK's nuclear deterrent, 7 nuclear fleet submarines, 6 guided missile destroyers, and 13 frigates available in UK Navy. There are 832 operational aircraft available in UK Air Force. The government currently spends just over 2% of the UK's GDP on defence, which amounted to some £45 billion. Number 7, France. With 208,700 active personnel, 35,000 reserve personnel, and 11,000 deployed personnel, French Army has 7th most powerful army in the world. The French Army has 222 Leclerc tanks, 267 combat helicopters, and 739 drones. The Navy has 180 ships, 1 aircraft carriers in service, and 10 submarines. The Air Force counted 211 fighter jets. France spent approximately $58.7 billion on defense. France is actively involved in very close defense relations with its principal European allies. Number 6, South Korea. The South Korean Armed Forces is one of the largest and most powerful standing armed forces in the world, with a reported personnel strength of 3,750,000. Today the South Korean Army has 2,500 tanks in operation, including the K-1A1 and K-2 Black Panther, which form the backbone of the South Korean Army. The South Korean Navy has 19 submarines, 12 destroyers, 12 frigates, 11 corvettes, and 2 aircraft carrier. And Air Force has 740 aircraft available. South Korea allocated approximately $43.4 billion to its national defense budget. Number 5, Japan. Because being defended by seas, and isolated from the rest of Asia, Japan was able to defend herself more and fending from any invaders. Japanese Armed Force has 247,154 active personnel and 56,000 reserve personnel. Japanese military also has 1,004 tanks, 5,500 armored vehicles. 214 self-propelled artilleries. 480 towed artilleries and 99 rocket projectors. Japanese Navy has 2 light aircraft carrier. 22 submarines. 2 helicopter carriers. 36 destroyers. 10 frigates. There are 745 aircraft in Japanese Air Force. Japanese government spend $47.2 billion in defense. Number 4 India. The unique geographical feature of India protects the country from invaders. The northern boundary is protected by the Himalayan mountain range, while the southern border protected by Indian Ocean. India has also one of the world's largest military forces with a strength of over 1.44 million active personnel. It has the world's largest volunteer military of over 5.1 million personnel. The total budget sanctioned for the Indian military is $63 billion United States dollars, which is the 4th largest annual defense budget. With around 4,300 tanks and 8,700 armored vehicles, India's armored strength is one of the best in the world. There are 1 aircraft carrier, 1 amphibious transport dock, 11 destroyers, 13 frigates, 23 corvettes, 17 submarines, and 4 replenishment ships present in Indian Navy. Indian Air Force has 1,900 aircraft. India also a nuclear power with holding 160 nuclear weapons. Number 3 China. There are 2,035,000 active personnel and 510,000 reserve personnel in Chinese military. Chinese military ranked 3rd with holding 5,250 tanks, 35,000 armored vehicles, 4,120 self-propelled guns, and 1,734 towed artillery. The Chinese Navy has 2 aircraft carriers, 51 destroyers, 49 frigates, 70 corvettes, 109 missile boats, 26 submarine chasers, 79 submarines, 19 replenishment ships. Chinese Air Force had more than 2,500 aircraft. China also has 350 nuclear warheads. The military budget of China was announced to be $230 billion United States dollars, the 2nd largest in the world. Number 2 Russia. Russian armed force comprise the world's 5th largest military in terms of personnel, with at least 2 million reserve personnel and 1 million active personnel. The Russians' military has 12,800 tanks and 21,500 armored vehicles. Russian Navy has 1 aircraft carrier, 2 battle cruisers, 2 cruisers, 10 destroyers, 11 frigates, 82 corvettes, 12 special-purpose submarines, and 58 active ballistic missile. Russian military has 4,173 aircraft. With 6,257 nuclear warheads, Russia has the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons in the world. Russia spent over $65.9 billion US dollars on its military expenses. Number 1 United States of America. The U.S. Armed Forces are considered the world's most powerful military. The military budget of the United States was $693 billion United States dollars. U.S. has 5,550 nuclear weapons, 6,612 main battle tanks, and 39,000 armored vehicles in its armed forces. U.S. is the world's largest aircraft carrier fleet, with 11 in service and 2 new carriers under construction. U.S. Navy has more than 70 submarines and more than 2,623 operational aircraft. The United States Air Force is composed of 5,217 active aircraft, making it the largest, the most technologically advanced, and the most powerful air fleet in the world. With 1,376,500 active personnel, 800,000 reserve personnel, and 165,000 deployed personnel, U.S. Army is world 3rd largest army. So, these are the most powerful military in the world. Hope you like the video. Please suggest me more topics in comment section. Thank you for watching.